The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who dwelt in a land of deep darkness, on them has light shined.
For me, becoming an atheist was a fairly casual decision. I just thought to myself, you know what, there is no God. And that was that. And I arrived at some very dark conclusions. My life was a complete accident. The universe was totally meaningless. Me, my family and my friends all existed for no reason. And that was terrifying. So to cope with that, I just decided maybe I'll make the most of my time here on earth and try and protect other people from the harsh reality, because I was drowning in the darkness. And then I met some Christians, and they had something that I didn't have. And while I didn't believe in that God, I really wanted that joy and that peace that they had. So I decided that I would read the Bible, I'd go to church, I'd pray, desperate to see God. And because God is faithful, He showed up and I ran into His arms. As promised, He accepted me and He forgave me. I now saw the light.
For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder.
The Talbuid are a group of people who live in the mountainous interior of Mindoro Island in the Philippines. And they live by planting sweet potatoes and rice, and mainly they live in fear of outsiders, fear of the evil spirit they are surrounded by. And so they offer sacrifices to ward off the effects of these spirits, to try to ensure good outcomes for their crops, to heal diseases, and to make sure that pregnant mothers give birth safely. And about 50 years ago, one group of these Talbuid heard the news about a God who created the whole world, created them, and had power over these evil spirits that had forced them to live in such darkness. It wasn't long before one small village welcomed this God into their lives, the one who had sent His Son to show them that they no longer needed to fear all these spirits around them. And so now they don't need to sacrifice anymore. They can eat and rejoice in the God who rescued them from darkness and brought them into light.
And His name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace.
1 year ago, my dad was in hospital dying of a brain tumour. He was 63. It was an astrocytoma glioma, which is like a star tumour that spreads throughout the brain, and it's inoperable. Despite that, in the year and a half since the diagnosis, he'd had one seemingly successful operation, several courses of chemo and radiotherapy, as well as a new biological treatment with nasty side effects. Despite all these treatments, the doctors had been very clear from the beginning. There was no reason to hope. It didn't look good at any stage. It never does with this type of cancer. But you know, my dad was a very complex character. And yet, when he was ill, he had such peace and hope. Dad wasn't afraid of dying. And even though he prayed that God would heal him, as time went on, he started to really long to go home. Dad was confident about where he was going. And Mum and I found it then and find it now such a comfort. The darkness was full of light. And so on the 7th of January, when we held his hands and prayed with him as Dad breathed his last breaths, we knew that he was being welcomed into the arms of his everlasting Father and the Prince of Peace.
Of the increase of His government and of peace there will be no end, on the throne of David and over His kingdom, to establish it and uphold it with justice and with righteousness from this time forth and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this.